Oh my goodness. Hi. Hello. It's me. And that's it. So I'm reviewing The Brain of Morbius. Here's the snag. I haven't got time to rewatch The Brain of Morbius. I have hiccups. I haven't got time to rewatch The Brain of Morbius. And like all the classic stories I reviewed, it's the muddiest in my mind. So I've refreshed it by reading my old review, and it's kind of all flooding back to me. So if I say any of the characters' names wrong, and if I'm suddenly gyrating, oh god, that is because I'm hiccuping. So this is probably a really short review, so let's get into it. Brain of Morbius is a very confusing episode. Every time I like think about it and what score I would give it, like a rating out of 10, I give it a different one. Like without fail. It's such a mix. The atmosphere and Solon and the Fourth Doctor and Sarah and all these things are really good. But then you have the Sisterhood of Khan, who are boring for the most part. You've got the fact that it just is going between the fact that it's just going between the same location, like Solon's house and the Sisterhood of Khan. Like it just goes between those two places. Like you can move those hexagonal stones as much as you want. I can tell it's the same set. I can tell it's the same set. And you know they do things that they change. We see it a few times in the day. Like they do their best, but this story is quite monotonous. And I think I had quite high expectations for it, which is perhaps my own fault. But I thought Morbius was a decent villain. He doesn't really come into his own until part 4. Until that point, he's just sort of Davros Light. And I really like Solon. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Solon. I'm gonna say Solon. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, and I tried to like look it up, but I couldn't find one bloody clip of someone saying his name. So I'm sorry about that. But Solon, like, he's a really cool villain. He's great. He's legitimately a really good villain. And then they just sort of kill him off because they're like, oh, we need Morbius to be the villain now. The deaths in this story are also quite bad. What was his name? Oh, no, call him Lurch. Lurch's death is just brutal. Like, that was quite graphic when he gets shot. Then there's also really good when Sarah Jane becomes blind. I was like, I was trying to keep a hiccup down. Elizabeth Sladen, marvelous woman. Her performance is just really good. Like she sells being scared. She's really independent. I just love her. I just don't know what it is. I just love her. The best death in this episode is that mutt that dies at the very beginning. Also, why on earth would the Sisterhood of Khan call him a mutt when that's not his species? The Doctor calls him by his actual species. The mutt is the name. I think it was a human colony. I haven't seen that story, but it's like a human colony that give them the nickname mutt. Like they call them mutts. So the Sisterhood of Khan calling them mutts is just bad writing. The whole mind melt battle thing is really weird and vague. Like it seems to be that the Doctor lost, but then Morbius also got affected by it, and then the Doctor turns out alright anyway, and then Morbius falls to his death. It does when he falls. It looks really terrible. But like this came out in 1976. Like I'm not expecting marvelous CGI. Thing is, Sisterhood of Khan is boring. But they're not at the first. It's the fact that they just refuse. They're just so stubborn. They refuse to listen to the Doctor. And there are so many conclusions that kind of all the characters jump to. And for 100 minutes, for four-part serial, it just feels so long. They probably could have been a 2-parter if they really like cut it down. And it isn't just classic pacing, because when I finally review the War Games, I love the War Games, and it's 10 bloody parts. Genesis of the Daleks fits 4 parts perfectly. So it's not just the format and the way that classic stories are told. It is just genuinely that I just don't think the story needs to be that long. But then the gothic stuff is just so good. The thing with this is the cause of Axos, I had a lot to say. This review's gonna be really quick. This is gonna be such a short review. But like it just doesn't have much of an impact on me. Positives, Tom Baker's really funny. He does the who knows thing, which I was just like, oh, yay. It does, although the sets are a bit boring, it does look really good. It's retelling of Frankenstein. Bit topical, because we just had a Mary Shelley story. it does work. This still isn't a bad episode. I'm gonna rate it. I'm gonna rating it a bit earlier than I usually would. I'm gonna rate it a 7, which isn't actually bad. What did I give Claws of Axos? Like 5.5 or 6? No, it's why I forget everything I rank, like as soon as I ranked it. I will probably start writing these down so I can remember. But like, that's like at least a whole point above Claws of Axos. Because yeah, it has got really tedious bits, but it's also got really good bits. I feel like I'm just repeating myself. Again, another problem with the story is just that there's not a lot to say. There's not a lot to say. It's quite gruesome, I guess. In like a cool way, and like, oh, that's disgusting. So yeah, that's it. I know this is a really short review. Maybe I'll get better watch time on this one because it's really short. But yeah, hopefully my next classic review will be a bit longer. But Brain of Morbius, just not a lot to say. So if you liked it, like, oh my goodness, like, send me hiccup medicine, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Please end my suffering.